Today I'm going to show you how you can change your power steering fluid. In order to do this quickly, I encourage you to have a fluid evacuation pump. The first step is to use the evacuation pump to suck out all the fluid in the power steering reservoir. The next step is to locate the power steering reservoir return line, and then you use a tool to take out the clamps of the return line and then remove the return line. After remove the return line, I took a cap and then put the cap on the power steering reservoir's return line. Then the next step is to put your evacuation pump tube into the return line and make sure there's no gap between the tube and the return. So now you can suck out the fluid from the return line using the evacuation pump while putting the new fluid into the power steering reservoir to refresh the entire power steering system. Toyota recommend using Toyota ATF, Dexron 2 or 3 as the power steering fluid. After you see the new power steering fluid coming out from the return line into your pump, the fluid gonna be fresh, clear red colored fluid. That means all your old fluid have been refreshed by this new fluid. At this time, make sure that the fluid level in the reservoir is below the reservoir return line, so that when you take out the cap, there's no fluid coming out. So now you can remove your evacuation pump tube out from the return line and then put the return line back onto the reservoir. Then top up the fluid in the power steering reservoir until you see the fluid level is between the min and max showing on the reservoir. So now the last step will be to bleed the air out from your power steering system. To do that is to jack up the front of the vehicle and put the front of the vehicle on a jack stand. Then without starting the engine, just turn the wheel slowly. Do this a couple times in order to bleed the air out. Then you need to put your vehicle back to the ground and then start the engine, and then turn the wheel again back and forth to the full position, both left and right, couple times to further bleed the air out. After you did that, stop your engine and then go to the power steering reservoir to check if there is any bubbles or foaming inside the reservoir. If the system has to be bleed twice because of foaming or bubbles, check for fluid leaks in the system. After confirming that you don't have any foaming or bubbles in the reservoir, recheck the fluid level in the reservoir. Alright, that's all for power steering fluid replacement. Thank you for watching.